What's up, everyone? It's Cohn Zone Sunday. This is your day. I'm not the star today. I sit here and listen and basically coordinate who talks when. But I like to just give a little bit before you guys start. And I don't. We don't all have to talk about this today. Is this what's on my mind? Don't let it influence you. If you want to talk about Trey Lance, Trey Sermon, any Trey, a deuce, a Trey, a hard six, we can do that. I just want to talk about Jed York for a minute because he started tweeting again last night, and this guy is killing me with his tweets. He's so funny. I mean, he was very serious and stern with his tweets 4 or 5 years ago. Got him in trouble. The stuff with Harbaugh, the Thanksgiving thing. He stopped tweeting. He went underground. He was like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. No one goes in, no one comes out for like 5 years. He wasn't tweeting because anytime he said anything, everyone would just crush him. Like, go away, stop talking. No one wants to hear from you. So anyway, he decided this offseason was the time for him to reintroduce himself to social media, which is funny. I don't know why. But he has like a whole new personality on Twitter now. He's self-deprecating. He has a sense of humor, and his heart is overflowing with love for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And he expresses it all the time. He did it during the draft, before the draft, free agency with Kyle Juszczyk and stuff. How much he loves you. And then last night, there was a dinner party. I'll read some of these tweets. They're hilarious. He goes, can't express how much I love hashtag Kyle, at John Lynch, at Al Guido, hashtag Parag, and out crew. He misspelled our. Here to take on the world. Who from the 49ers faithful is with me? Hashtag Mandy loves this tweet. Can't express how much I love hashtag Kyle. So he's got these inside jokes with the hashtag Kyle. Someone says drive safe. Then he says definitely hire drivers, as in like, man, we're getting wasted tonight. Although I don't think he drinks. So I don't really understand what side of himself he's trying to show. Then he says, I feel like any tweet from this point forward will be detrimental, but we're having a blast. Hashtag quest for six. Again, he's trying to act like he's, partying it up and things are getting real rowdy. Jed doesn't drink. I don't know what's going on. Jed says, remember the CDC Gov dropped the mask guidelines and it's time to resume normal life with your head coach, GM, and more. Hashtag 2021 life. This guy's supposed to be at a dinner party having fun and he's tweeting stuff like this. Then he says, Via is a terrible DJ. Hashtag I nominate Kyle. This is a guy with 128,000 followers. He wrote whatever this means and got 200 likes. Like, he can't even get engagement. Man, what are you doing, dude? This was at 12:57 a.m. as well. What are you doing? So, I mean, look, if this were one of my writers for all 49ers, I'd probably text him and be like, hey, man, you should probably stop. I don't know what you're doing, but it's a bad look. It's not funny. And it feels forced. But that's Jed York. I don't get it. It feels like almost like he's been watching my career do a total 180. And he's like, maybe I could get Niner fans on my side too. I mean, Niner fans hated Grant for 8 years. Like they hated him more than they hate me. Now they love him. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of how he tweets. I'm going to try to tweet the same way. Or more diabolical, I think he's been watching East Bay Chris. Because let's be clear. I mean, East Bay Chris is the rookie of the year, although he's been doing this for years. I mean, he's the newcomer on the block, and his tone, his style of sports tweeting is cutting edge. And I feel like Jed York is trying to copy it. One last thing about it. It doesn't really matter who he stole this from, whose personality he's trying to mimic. I still think it's a bad look for Jed. I'm trying to be serious here. Jed, I don't think you want to do it, man. I think you need to stop this. Not because you're tweeting, not because you're trying to be self-deprecating, but this whole stuff of I love Kyle. I love John Lynch. I love our crew. They've had one winning season in 4 years. You should put a little pressure on them, man. It shouldn't be love fest 24/7. This is a group that has, well intentions. They have good intentions. They mean well. They have promise, but they were 6-10 last year. They were 4-12 2 years before that. They were 6-10 before that. This is a team that hasn't won a lot. I mean, do you really need to be having public love fests on Twitter every couple of months? Hey, we're having another dinner party. Hey, we might be drunk. We're having a great time. I love all these guys. These are It's not a family. It's a business, and it's a results business, and they're not getting the results consistently. I'm not saying you gotta give them radio silence, but I think the whole message that you're sending to them and the fan base is that results don't matter. You love Kyle Shanahan. You love him. You love his personality. You love everything about him. And so the reason that Jim Harbaugh didn't last is it was a personal thing. You guys didn't get along. And the reason that Kyle Shanahan is on his second contract extension is because he comes to your dinner parties and makes you feel like one of the guys, even though you've never been one of the guys in your life. So, I mean, I like that you're trying to make yourself like relatable on Twitter, but you're not relatable. You're a billionaire, always have been, always will be. So I think you should probably stop with the how much you love Kyle and how much you love John, and make it clear to them that as much as you believe in them, this is a results-based business. And if they come out again this year and go 6-11, someone could get fired. Right? Come on, Jed. You don't want to be Michael Scott. You want to be like an actual boss that people respect. You're going for Michael Scott level right now. And no one really respects Michael Scott. They might laugh with him because he could fire them, but they don't respect Michael Scott. So that's my advice to Jed York. Be professional. I don't know the team. I can do this stuff. I don't think you should. Sean says, read his tweets. He find the bottle. He doesn't drink. I don't know what he's trying to show. It's like the kid at the high school party who pretends he's drunk, but he's drinking like guava juice. It's like, dude, what are you doing? How bad do you want people to think you're cool? Really? You threw the party. You invited everyone. You're pretending to be drunk. What is going on here, man? You don't need to work this hard to be accepted. You have $1 billion. Enjoy that. You don't have to have everything in life. Sorry. Okay, so let's have people call in. Jed and his tweets. All right, boom. It's in the comment section. And I'm going to put it in the thing. There. Okay, cool. Whenever you guys are ready, call in. We can talk. Oh, you already know who's first. What's up, Sai? Great to see you.
I'm doing good. Yeah, this is like really hilarious. I I think they used to say this about Bill Walsh, right? You don't try to get too friends with your players because you got to hold them accountable. And
exactly.
Yeah, it is.
You don't hire your friends. It's not a family, although you want to say it is. You got to fire these guys. You're probably going to have to fire these guys eventually, Jed. So keep it professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So what I wanted to talk, Grant, today was about the schedule. Give my prediction. Obviously, I was listening to your thoughts during the week. I feel my prediction is we'll go 12-5.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the games that I picked that we are going to lose.
Okay.
The first one I feel we're going to lose is the Green Bay Packers game. And I know that a lot of people feel that we would win this game. But the reason I feel we're going to lose this game is if you look back, every time we spent 2 games back in the East Coast and come back, the players look really tired.
They are jet lagged.
They look totally jet lagged. I think it's good for them for that second week when they play in the East Coast, but when they come back, and if you go back last year, or rather 2 years ago, it was that Pittsburgh Steelers game. They spent 2 weeks there, and then they came back. We played really ugly. We were lucky to win that game. I think there was like 5 turnovers.
Very lucky. Dante Pettis bailed them out.
Yeah, exactly. And even the Atlanta game, I felt because they spent 2 weeks there, they came back, they didn't have the energy. So I do think that'll be the first loss. And before the bye, I do believe we'll go 4-1. I know that some people have us losing to Arizona.
Right.
I don't think. I think they'll be motivated this time not to lose again to Arizona. I think we are honestly a better team. And
you think they'll sweep Arizona this year?
We will sweep Arizona this year because I feel that in some sense they may feel that the entire last season got derailed because of that loss to Arizona out of the gate. They're going to. Yeah, they're going to be a lot more focused. We are a much better team, much better coaches. I do think we'll win that one. The second game we'll lose is the Colts game. Again, this one, I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. But I do think that the Colts want to show big in the national stage. They'll come hard and they'll play hard. I feel it's going to be a super tough game, and I do have them losing the second game against Colts.
I agree. Me too.
Yeah, the third game that I have them losing is against the Rams. This is the Monday Night Football. Again, a lot of
At home?
people have
Or is it on
at
the road?
home. No,
Okay.
no. At home. This is
Yeah.
the Monday Night Football. Again, I know that Kyle has the number of the Rams, but I do think they'll come motivated to go and play because they want to. They've been losing too many games to the 49ers, and this is a Monday night game. And interestingly, they have a Thursday night game right before this, so they have that mini bye coming out. So I do think we'll lose to the Rams. And then the fourth game, of course, is a Seattle game. It's always tough to go up and play up in Seattle. Now, the only thing is, Seattle, interestingly, they're playing a Monday night game in the East Coast against Washington and coming back to play this Sunday night.
That's a nice little boost for the Niners. It evens it
Yeah,
out
exactly. So if at all we have a chance, like I think that this is the game, but still, it's tough to beat Wilson on Sunday night games and up in Seattle. It's just, I think it'll be a close game, but we'll end up losing. And then the last one is, of course, that Tennessee Titans game, which is pretty much a scheduled loss.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 games. I do have them winning the NFC West. I predict that they will win the NFC West. Now the interesting thing is, if they can convert one of these losses into wins, they could very well have a good shot at the number 1 seed. But otherwise, they'll be number 2 or number 3 seed is what I predict. And regarding the trap games, I don't think there is really any trap game. Primarily because if you think about it, the potential trap games could have been the Cincinnati game, could have been the Jaguars game, but Niners will be coming off of losses based on my prediction before each one of those. So which makes it, if they do win one of those against Seattle or against Rams, then those could potentially become trap games. But otherwise, and even the Atlanta game, I know that you call that as a trap game, but they have the Tennessee Titans coming up right after that. I mean, they cannot afford to lose 2 games in a row. So which is why I feel that probably we're not going to have any trap game because we're just going to lose the game before that.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. I could see those as the 5 losses. Absolutely. I had them at 6, but 5 seems possible, and they could even do better than that if they get their quarterback situation squared away, stay healthy, and D'Amico Ryans is good.
Correct. Exactly. That brings up my second point. I mean, here's one thought that I had, and I want to get your feedback. If you think about it, I mean, all of us talk about the Titans game as being the scheduled launch, right? One thing that I was thinking is, like, do we foresee NFL players doing something similar to the NBA, where they just bench all their star players? Because sometimes when you have these back-to-back night games, it's just meaningless to go and play those games.
Give yourself a bye week.
Give yourself a bye week.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I know
if Trey Lance hasn't been playing all season, that's a good time to throw him in there. Hey, here's a start, the way that the Chiefs did for Mahomes at the end of his rookie year.
Correct. I mean, that's a possibility. I know it's more difficult to do that in the football because, again, you don't have enough number of players. In the preseason, you can do it when you have those 90 players, but with 53 players, it's extremely difficult to.
It also could be tough if they're fighting for a 1 seed. Seeding.
That is true, but it's just such a tough game, and I know that players, especially with this longer season, and the fact that Niners have their bye up front, it makes it even more difficult that they get a second bye towards the end, and this is the best way to do it. And I know that in the past, the players have asked for a second bye with these longer schedules. I was just wondering whether they could force.
That could be the one, yeah. That could be the one. Well, it'll be interesting to see how tough Tennessee is. Maybe they'll be vulnerable, and the Niners can't afford to throw that one away, or they'll be really good. And the Niners, there's no percentage in playing this game. It'll be interesting.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last point, couple of points I wanted to make, Grant, was on the coaching. I know that you have been spending quite a bit of time on this. I do think that this whole notion of passing to the running backs is going to become big this year. And the reason being that now you have the threat of the quarterback running, right? Because a lot of times, if the defense is putting their last defender to spy the quarterback and sort of letting the running back not pay much attention to the running back, I do think the dump passes and screen passes and wheel routes to running back is going to be a big one this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So even though they've been practicing in front of the media, I do think that it's going to be a big part of their offense.
I agree.
Which I know is something that you wanted to see. Though he didn't show the rollouts, but I think passing to the running backs is going to be a big thing.
Agree. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be monitoring them.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last one is D'Amico Ryan's one thing. I know that you've been talking about the in-game adjustments. One thing that I do want to see is, and this has always bugged me in the past, is you never have Niners going into a game plan where they want to take away the number one target of the opposing defense. So I'm interested to see whether he's going to bring in any of those wrinkles. So, for example, you go into a game facing DK Metcalf or any of the star receivers, just take them completely out of the game with some scheme adjustment, right? It'll be interesting to see. I always felt that Salah didn't do enough of those. They always let their scheme play and then make some adjustments based on the scheme, but it'll be good to see whether they can throw some totally new wrinkles.
Yeah, I'll be looking for it. I didn't get a read on what D'Amico's planning on doing, but we'll get a sense early on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sai, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Great to see you. Jeremy Price says, Grant, what's up with the strength and conditioning staff or program? Have we gotten better in that region? Ben Peterson, they got him from the NHL. He hasn't shown any success yet. I don't know what's going on there. Good question. They should probably look into that because the strength and conditioning staff they've had two. The first guy was a joke. He put up that fake ramp hill. It's still there. I don't know what they're going to do with it. They should really invest in that. It seems like they cut corners in this organization around little things that you don't think about. Okay, I wanted to mention this Cohn phone has kind of evolved. It's the same people who call in most of the time, and I respect it. You guys all have great things to say, and you know me. But I got to be vigilant here because I'm the moderator. And what I want to remind you, please, instead of having four topics, 1, 2 tops. Have one thing you want to talk about, and we can discuss it for 4 or 5 minutes. If you have 4 things you want to talk about, it goes on for 10 minutes, and then I can't get to the next call. And I'm trying to get 10, 15 people in here in an hour, hour and a half. So for the sake of everyone else, limit yourself to the 1 or 2 best topics, most intriguing things you want to talk about, and then we can discuss them for 4 or 5 minutes as opposed to everyone just listening as you rattle off 5, 6 things, which is cool. But I'm just saying, for the sake of everyone else, let's try to keep it moving. Fair enough? Okay. And I'm going to do my best to jump people to the front of the line who didn't talk yesterday. No offense to other people. I'm going to get everyone in. But Darius did not get to talk yesterday. I got to put him to the front of the line. Darius, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. What's up?
So I've been watching a lot of film this week of the rookies in their camps, and they look pretty good. They look pretty good, especially Lance. Just the stuff they were having him do made him look really, really good. But I want to talk about this whole Jimmy Garoppolo situation because it's becoming more and more interesting with more and more we see of Lance. And I've sticking with my fact. I think we should start Jimmy week 1 because starting a quarterback like Lance, though he can look as good as he can, but we won't know till the preseason. So I want to get this off. I think having the early bye does benefit Lance in a sense, but also benefits the 49ers and kind of their conquest. One of the things about the NFL season is people can look good for streaks. And under a Kyle Shanahan offense, Jimmy Garoppolo can look really good real easy.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they've had the conversation with Jimmy that, yeah, you're on your way out and we want to get as much value out of you. I feel like if they can get him in within those first 5 games, maybe have him play up to the deadline, ship him, and we can make maybe like a Emmanuel Sanders deal where we ship him, get some pieces, maybe in this scenario like a Julio Jones, get a few pieces, and bring in Lance, who at that point should be ready to come in and play. But I just want to know your input.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like from what I saw in rookie minicamp, he's going to be ready pretty quick. He looks like, I mean, I don't know how good he's going to be, but he looks like he's got the offense, at least what they're teaching him. And yeah, it seems like he should be able to get in there pretty quickly. Like the bye week would be the very latest I would expect that he'd be the start. Don't you think? Like if Jimmy somehow plays really well, if Trey struggles, then you have 6 weeks to get him ready. But I don't even know if he'll need that. What do you think?
preseason's gonna be really big because they're gonna make sure they get Lance his reps in.
And they didn't have that last year. This is different. This is big.
They didn't have it. They didn't have, and I think that another big proponent to what made our team feel so vulnerable is because one, we didn't get players until literally week 1. They weren't able to start getting their jobs done, and that was a real struggle. And I look at our schedule, and when I first looked at it, I'm like, oh, our schedule's pretty easy. But then you kind of like mentioning in that a stream talk about in the schedule, we're bouncing back between time zones, and that's a really difficult for a lot of players. It's difficult for a lot of players.
5.
And and the biggest thing somebody did point out was that players who grew up on the East Coast, they might adjust a bit easier to it since they already have to adjust to West Coast time. So, but that, and I do like the idea that the last guy brought up, saying that we can maybe drop a couple people in the Tennessee game so they can feel rested up, because that could be a game, but it's also looking like Tennessee's not going to have that great of a defense, so that could be a game for Lance comes in and just tears up a defense and makes them look really, really good.
Yep.
But also, I want to end off with this. My dad was telling me a myth. The last time the 49ers played the Lions week 1 in Detroit, they won the Super Bowl back in the 80s.
Maybe history could repeat itself. Darius, great to see you, man.
Great to see you.
Okay. What's up, Bay Area baller?
What's up, Grant?
What's up, man? Great to see you on a Sunday.
Absolutely. Hey, Grant, you're a vet, man. You can't go out to Santa Clara with no sunscreen, getting sunburned.
Come on, I don't know what I was thinking. It's because I didn't have OTAs last year. No rookie minicamp. It's been 2 years, and I forgot. And look at me, man. I look ridiculous. I look like an idiot. I look like an idiot.
Yeah, you can't let that happen, man.
My wife was like, "What did you do?" I packed it for you. I put it in the bag. She did too.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm so bad. I went out to dinner with East Bay Chris last night. He was like, "Okay, we're going to this restaurant." And then he texted me the next day. He was like, "Actually, that place closes at 8. We're going to this restaurant." So of course I went to the first one.
Oh, man.
He's like, "Where?" I told you. I was like, "Yeah, you did, man. I'm just the least responsible. I don't know how I've made it this far in life, man. I just don't know." Anyway, what's up?
Hey, Grant, I'm hitting you with a different topic today. Yesterday, I went back and I watched the 1982 Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Right? 49ers Bengals. Bill Walsh. This was the first Super Bowl that we won.
I've never seen that game.
The whole first half is on YouTube. The first half is all on YouTube. So I watched the real game. You got Pat Summerall and John Madden on the call. Legends. Yes. Yeah. So the first half is on YouTube, and the second half, it's like I had to piece together like some NFL films and some highlights, but I watched pretty much the whole thing.
What was your takeaway?
Let me tell you the things that stood out. First of all, we got a barefooted punter.
I saw that. Look, when the pandemic hit, I did the YouTube going back in time thing, and I watched the game against the Cowboys from that year. So like 2 weeks before, I was like, dude, the guy has no foot. He has no spikes on. What is that? Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, the barefooted punter, no shotgun for the Niners. Everything's under center. And they got, speaking of the under center formation, you got the split backs.
That's right.
Under center.
That's right.
Which was weird to see. You don't see that nowadays.
Yeah. Hey, you also see wide receivers in 3-point stances.
That was going to be my next point.
Wild.
The receivers are down. Freddie Solomon, Dwight Clark. These guys are in 3-point stances.
Yes.
It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
How impressive is Joe Montana? He's so athletic. You don't remember that.
He knows where everyone is at on the field. His awareness, he knows where every offensive player is, every defender. It's phenomenal. And yeah, he's got that mobile aspect that you don't really think about when you think John Madden, or at least me.
Yeah.
You don't think about the mobility, but it's there.
It is there. And like, I think most people remember the clips of him when he's older in like the late 80s where he's just dicing people up from the pocket. But when he was young, he was extremely athletic, moved really, really well. It's funny in retrospect how many non-athletic, weak-arm quarterbacks have been compared to him because he made plays. He has a playmaker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hey, check this out. Bill Walsh noticed something. That Super Bowl was in Detroit on a hard surface. It was like an AstroTurf, rock hard surface. Yeah. They came out squib kicking the ball. They squib kicked it multiple times. The Bengals, they couldn't even pick it up. This ball's bouncing all over the place. They recovered a squib kick that the guy just squibbed it deep down the field, and the Bengals can't even pick. They recovered it right before half.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bill Walsh, he's just on a next level.
It's interesting how Bill Walsh didn't blow that opportunity. Something about getting to the big game and winning it. I don't know. It's like it's great to get to the big game. It's hard to get to the big game, but finishing the deal is a special kind of skill set that we haven't seen around here since I was about 5'6". Finishing the deal.
And I was 4, and you led me to my next point. I haven't witnessed any Super Bowls. I was 4 years old when Steve Young won that Super Bowl. You got a couple years on me. You were 6, and I'm hungry. This Niner fan base is hungry. We won our Super Bowl. 2012. I thought we were going to get it done. No, we lost to the Ravens. And speaking of that game, Grant, if you're the coach, was it the right call to go with Kaepernick?
Oh, that's such a tough question, man. I mean, you could say no, because Alex Smith was playing just as well, if not better, before he got hurt.
That was the best ball of his career.
But then again, I got to say, Kaepernick played really, really well down the stretch. So it's hard to say, man. It's really hard to say. And look, Alex Smith never played well in the playoffs really in his career, except for that one game against the Saints. Kaepernick has some really killer playoff performance. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say.
To be honest, I wanted Smith. I wanted to roll with Smith. I thought he was playing great ball. He was protected. He was playing the best ball of his career that I had seen of him in SF. So when we made the change, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, yeah, Kaepernick's flashy, but man, Alex Smith, we were winning games.
It's true, man. It's true.
So that hurt, man. Now this past Super Bowl, it's just a lot of heartbreak, man. I'm ready. And Jed is talking about this quest for 6. Let's go, Jed. Let's go, Kyle. We want this Super Bowl.
Yeah, make it happen, man. Just saying it at a dinner party doesn't make it so. Come on, Jed. Let's see. You're 0 for 2. Your uncle was 5-0. All right. Let's see what you got. 5-0.
Eddie D, man. That's a guy. Eddie D. That guy did anything to win, right? You probably know more. You probably got some good Eddie D stories from Lowell. You got to share. Give me a story Lowell gave you about Eddie D.
Oh, man.
Because that guy, right? There were some rules that he bent, right?
I don't have any off the top of my head, but the Cohn Zone will be in 2 days. A topic for my dad will be a good Eddie D story. I promise. He'll deliver. Oh, it'll be for you. All right.
That's
all right. I got to take some more calls, but it's always a pleasure to see you, man. Great stuff.
Thanks, Grant. Catch you next time.
Man. Later. Hold on. Later. All right. Newt, hold on. I didn't mean to be like hard. Newt said totally ranted yesterday. I felt bad because the point was to hear what you thought about those things. Hey, man, it's all good. I think if it's the natural instinct when people to come on and be like, man, I got 2 minutes. I want to say what I want to say, and I'm a little nervous. It's all good. I really love all you guys. It's my responsibility to be the moderator and set you guys up for success. That's all I'm trying to do is set you guys up for success. And I see like, I let one person talk for 6 minutes. Then the next person's like, well, I got to talk for 7. It's like, well, I'm doing a bad job. I need to be the hall monitor here and let people know where the boundaries are. So everyone does great. So it's on me. That's on me, Newt Lab. My bad. I should have said that yesterday. Hold on. I got some more things in here. I'm taking full responsibility for that miscommunication. Also, Walsh came up in Cincy as a coach and coached Anderson, QB of the Bengals. The 88 Niners played Bengals again this time against Weish, his pupil. That's true. I interviewed Weish once on the phone. He was great. Yeah, there was a lot of bad blood because Cincy didn't want Walsh. They hired Tiger Johnson, some other guy who was named Tiger. I think they thought he was a little bit more of a beast. I don't know. JD says, if Trey starts week 1 and gets the Niners off to a couple losses early, would the Niners pull him? I wonder if fans will call for it. That's the problem. That's why they can't play him too soon. Because if Jimmy plays like Jimmy in the preseason and they play Trey anyway and he struggles, what are you going to do? Bench him? That's the worst thing you could do. That's the worst way to start a young guy's career. Bench him. I mean, that's kind of like what happened. No, you can't do that. You can't let that happen. When he gets on the field, he's got to be ready to play well because he's replacing a guy who's 22-8 with a quarterback rating that's about 97. He's got to be ready. Is there anyone else that I missed? I don't think. All right, we're good. We're good. Thanks for waiting, everyone. All right, Benjamin. Man, I lost. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get Amin real quick because he only had like a minute yesterday, and then I'm going to go to Benjamin. What's up, Amin?
What up?
How you doing? What up? Man? Good,
Bro,
man.
I feel like Cohn Phone was meant for like you to take our calls and we ask you questions. But then now
it morphed into something else. And that's cool, man, because you guys know more about football than me. I'm just trying to let's keep it to 5 minutes because my wife will get mad at me if this goes past 11:30, and I'll get mad too because we got a whole day planned. You know what I'm saying?
And now Cohn Phone is just like where all of us just start ranting and getting
heck yeah. It's like okay. All right, but let's keep it within 5 minutes.
Okay, so I have some trades some previous trades in the NFL, and I want to ask you if these trades were for a quarterback, or for another position.
Okay.
Bradley McDougall, a 2021 first, a 2022 second, and a 2021 third round pick for a quarterback or a non-quarterback.
That was for a non-quarterback, right?
Okay, that's
that was for Adams, right? That was for Adams.
Okay.
Okay.
A 2020 first, a 2021 first, and a 2021 fourth.
Ooh. That's for a non-quarterback.
You got that.
That's for Ramsey
again.
Is that Ramsey? Okay.
Now moving on to another one that I have is, of course, the Jared Goff trade, where they gave up Goff a 2022, I think, a 2022 first, and a 2023 first, and a 2021 third, and Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. And they got a third in return. So I have to ask you a question now, going to my main point.
Yes.
Did the Niners give up too much for Trey Lance? They swapped a first round pick. They gave up 2 firsts and a third. Did they give up too much for Trey Lance, who's a quarterback?
Well, right. So and that was what Kyle was saying in his press conference. Like, first of all, we didn't give up 3 first-round picks. We swapped 1, and then we gave up 2 and a third. Like, if they had made this in the offseason another time, they wouldn't have had to swap those picks. You just give up the future picks, and then that's it. But it's the difference to me is that the Rams and the Seahawks traded those picks for non-quarterbacks, true, but players who had been all-pro. Players who had proven that they're the best at their position in the NFL. Plus, they were like 23, 24. So it's like you're getting known commodities, even though they're not quarterbacks. The Niners are trading for someone who has more potential at a better position, but he hasn't proven anything, not even at the 1A level of college football. So it's just more of a risk.
That is a good point. But in my opinion, I still feel like the Niners, I honestly think that if they made the trade on draft day, they could have traded up to like the 6th or even the 7th. Instead of the 3rd, they would have to give up much less. But I still feel like the Niners didn't give up too much for Trey Lance, because I understand that Jalen Ramsey and Jamal Adams are very good players, are all pro, but they don't touch the ball that much. They're just, take out, like, if you don't have a good safety or a good cornerback, one good safety or one good cornerback on your team, that doesn't mean that if you have a like Patrick Mahomes caliber player or like a really good quarterback and an overall good team, if you just don't have one good corner and one good safety, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a bad team or you're not going to win games and make the playoffs or even win the Super Bowl. If you don't have a good quarterback, which Niner fans know very well that our roster is really good, but the only thing that stops us every year is our quarterback and our injuries.
That's true.
So if we had our quarterback, when we had our Jimmy Garoppolo, we made it to the Super Bowl. So we don't have our starting quarterback, and our corners aren't that good besides Richard Sherman. Our corners aren't really not anything Pro Bowl caliber besides Verrett, but he gets injured a lot. Besides Verrett, we don't really have any great cornerbacks, or even Jaskowski Tart. When Jaskowski Tart goes down, I understand we have Jimmy Ward, but who fills that other side besides Jimmy Ward? Mosley? Okay. So even if you don't have a good cornerback or safety, that still doesn't mean that you won't be a playoff team or a Super Bowl team. That's my only other counter argument to that.
No, it's true. That is true. Look, if Trey Lance is a excellent starting quarterback, they gave up not that much for him. I mean, think about it this way. Deshaun Watson was much more expensive. Aaron Rodgers would be much more expensive. You got a discount, theoretically, because it's a quarterback who hasn't played in the NFL. He's a rookie. But if he ends up being what the Niners hope he can be, then they didn't give up too much for him at all. They gave up what other teams paid, as Kyle and you were pointing out, the same amount they paid for safeties and corners.
Safeties and corners, yeah.
Yeah. And again, they get this because he hasn't proven a thing in the NFL. If it were Deshaun Watson, you wouldn't be able to get him for 2 firsts and a third. So I can see it from that perspective. Good point. I mean, great to see, man.
Good to see, man.
I got your email today, too. I'm going to check it out.
I'm starting my YouTube channel. I'm doing a stream at 1:30.
Nice. I got your thing from that you sent me yesterday.
Yeah, but yesterday I deleted that one, so I'm doing one today because I was
okay. All right, then I'll check it out.
Check it out.
Everyone subscribe to Amin's YouTube channel because it's gonna have like 100,000 subscribers by the time he's 22. Watch. What is it? Let everyone know. Where do they find it? Amin the Dream.
It's just my name. I'll put in the link in the comments.
All right, man. Great to see you. Good stuff. His partner in crime, Benjamin Camperman. What's up, man? Good to see you.
I'm good, dude. I'm pumped. I think tomorrow me and Jesse Naylor are doing a show, so I'm
no way. That's so I love Jesse, man. That's great, man.
That I know, and I tried. Do you know who Voch Lombardi is?
Yes. Yeah.
I tried him and he said yes, but then at the very last second, he was like, "Oh, my producers are being a little," which it's business. I get it, so I don't care. But today I actually wanted to ask you a few questions and then talk about my point. Who do you think?
Hold on. In the spirit of what I said a minute ago, let's stick to one thing and then talk about it for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, the question connected to my matchups.
You're good.
My matchups. So, who do you think? Like, what are your biggest matchups to watch for coming into training camp?
Oh, okay. I like this question. That's a great question. All right, let's do it. First of all, Kinlaw against Aaron Banks. Straight up. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. I got more. Samson Ebukam against Mike McGlinchey. Okay. I got more. Because look, Samson Ebukam, he's not a refined pass rusher. He wins with athleticism and effort and strength. That's tough. I mean, he's got speed and power. Let's see what Mike McGlinchey's got there. And then I want to see Ayuk against Ambry Thomas. Those are the three that come to my head. What do you want to see?
Yeah, and this was the point I was going to make. I want to see like how Diamondor
Lenore. Yeah, dude, that was.
I want to see him how he matches up against NFL receivers because the thing is I think the 49ers are like, let's wait to get a corner on the free agency. Maybe at the end of at the end of training camp, let's wait to see what we have in Ambry Thomas because I get what Amin was saying last time. But we really haven't seen them. We don't know if they're good or not. Obviously, they're going to be raw, but I think they're waiting to see like if they have two really good backups out of those.
And both of them played so well the rookie mini camp. They probably what do we need Richard Sherman for right now? Let's give them another look next week and see if they continue it. Yeah, I think you're right, man.
And then obviously, I know Daniel Brunskill wants to stay to right guard, but Daniel Brunskill versus Mike McGlinchey.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they won't be literally facing each other, but yeah, I want to see someone compete with Mike McGlinchey attacking, man. I mean, someone push him. Someone.
The other guy that could, like, that's what was my biggest need going into the draft was getting somebody in the later rounds to push Mike McGlinchey. The other guy, Western Michigan, the guy from.
They're talking about moving him to guard, which is disappointing, and then. The only guy they have really now to push him is the international guy from Mexico, who I don't know. I've never really seen him play. So, his Alfredo Gutierrez.
Yeah,
he's 6'9", 330, but I don't know how good he is.
I saw his interview and he was kind of like he was talking in Spanish after the time.
He was cool. He was really funny. I've never seen him play. I don't know what to expect if they brought him in as a promotion or do they really think he's going to make the team? I don't know. So I hope there's some actual competition for Mike McGlinchey, man. But I like the topic of
biggest
battles. Let me think of a couple more I can off the top. Trey Sermon against Fred Warner. Trey Sermon against Fred Warner. That's a good one. Always, I love to watch Ross Dwelly against all the safeties because he just wins, and I don't know how he does it. Of course, Kittle as well. Last year, Jordan Reed was fun. He's gone. Jalen Hurd, if he could play, that would be cool too. Those are some ones. No. Jalen Hurd against anyone.
I am not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if Jalen Hurd will play. Honestly, what you can get out of him is the best. But what I would say actually is maybe if he has a decent season this year, what could you get out of him? Like a sixth?
Oh, no. No, he's missed too much time. He's never been traded back. He would have to have multiple good seasons in a row. Real quick, before I let you go, I want to give you some tips because you're coming up. You're a really good podcaster. I love what you got to say. You always want to improve one thing at a time when you're getting started. And I think for you, lighting, man, I can't even see your face. Here's something to remember.
Yeah.
You want the light source to be in front of you. I paid for a light. It's like $40, but I see you have light to your right. So if you position yourself where all I'm saying, man, you're doing great.
Yes.
Yeah, man, you're doing great.
Because I'm thinking about getting a green screen, and that's pretty easy. But then I don't think that will hold lighting. I really wanted to get a more professional.
No, you're good. You're doing good, man. I'm just giving you some ideas.
So, anyways, that was what I wanted to say, and I think I'm doing a show with Jesse tomorrow. So,
nice.
Tune in there. So
watch with Last Second Sports, everyone. All right.
Well, man. on my channel.
On your channel. Nice. Yep. All right. Well, I'll see you soon, man. Take care. Ryan says, can you get these young men into a practice to ask questions, get their feet wet? I mean, I wish I could get people credentials. People call me up. They'll be like, hey, man, how do I get a credential to the Niners? I don't know, man. It's really hard. I don't know. The Niners should be giving out credentials left and right. All right, Varuna, Korean 49er, Shardal, bear with me. I'm just going to have a couple more people that didn't call yesterday, and then I will get to you. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry to do this to you. But Ray's never been on the show before. What's up, Ray?
What's up?
How you doing, man? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Morgan Hill.
Oh, sweet. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm about to go to work, actually, so you call me right in time.
That's what's up. What's up?
Perfect. All right, so, I started following you, around the time that you were campaigning for, what's his name? The guy from the Seahawks, Jamal Adams. You were like,
oh, yeah.
Gotta get this guy.
Yeah.
you convinced me. You had me convinced. I was like, all right, I'm down for that. All right, but my question is, where do you think we'd be if we, went through with your advice? And that's what we eased our future.
Not good. Yeah. Because what happened is they needed those first-round picks to get Trey Lance.
Yeah. The
quarterback fell apart. Yeah. So in retrospect, they didn't have picks to trade for a non-quarterback. Hey, Niners, my bad. Sorry. I meant well. I'm sorry. You guys were right though. But honestly, what I heard, and I'm not the most connected dude, but I hear rumors. What I heard is that the Niners wanted him, thought they were going to get him, and then the Seahawks came over the top with what everyone felt was kind of an irresponsible offer. So go ahead, dude. But the Niners were definitely interested.
Thank God they did, because he's a great player,
but they needed those picks to get rid of Jimmy.
Yeah. Could we put him at quarterback maybe? And then
here's the thing. If they had gotten rid of Jimmy last year and gotten Tom Brady, then Jamal Adams, come on down, man. Oh, yeah. And they probably would have had a Super Bowl ring by now. But
would have got Antonio Brown, Gronk.
Exactly, Gronk, all that. But
yeah,
they got their own path now. Their own path. Yeah. Hey, I like that hat though, man. It's a nice Ace hat.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Got it. Went to my first game hella years ago. So
nice, man. All right, Ray. Have a good day at work.
Yeah, for sure. You too. Thank you.
Peace, man. What's up, Ike? How you doing? Where you calling from?
What's good, bro?
What's good, man? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from DC, man.
Okay. What's up? What's on your mind?
A couple of things. Number one, Jed is tripping with the two. He's got to stop.
He is, man. Stop.
It's gonna backfire. Especially, it's kind of like the pace that he's trying to keep is unrealistic. You can't be funny all the time. You know what I'm saying? And when the season starts,
he's not funny any of the time, though.
Yeah. Exactly. And when the season starts, that funny stuff is not gonna go over well. It is not gonna go over well. So I am a former Washington football team fan. I rolled out, bro. And I was here when Kyle was here in 2012. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about. One, I don't think that Trey Lance should start right away. But two, some of the reasons why I wouldn't be worried if he had to. Okay. So obviously, Jimmy is just the guy because he just understands the minutia of just being a pro quarterback. He's got to start, period. Full stop. Trey didn't even run a 2-point. He didn't even run a 2-minute in college. He's gifted, but there's a science to the game of football that just can't be ignored. You have to go through these things. That's why you had me a little tight when you were going at all of his passes on rookie minicamp. You're like, why is he doing this? It's only 4-yard passes? I'm like, yo, Grant, chill out, son. Relax.
I got to keep the pressure on Kyle, man. Good things happen when I keep the pressure on that guy.
You don't like Kyle because you think he's privileged.
I don't really dislike Kyle. I don't have a feeling. I don't know Kyle. Kyle keeps everyone at a distance, so I'm free to say what I want. Kyle seems cool.
That's fair.
I didn't like Chip Kelly at all. He gave me a weird vibe. Kyle's cool. I love Robert Saleh. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that guy at all.
Yeah.
Kyle's cool.
Okay, so let me be quick because I'm getting the thing. You want to keep moving. Okay.
You're good.
Okay, so one of the things that I think people don't realize is I had kind of like a front row seat to the whole RG3 Exodus and the Genesis to the Exodus, okay? Mm-hmm. So basically, RG3 was being pigeonholed into the offense that coincidentally was for Kirk Cousins, if you want to go schematically. The Skins were 1-6 into that rookie season. That was a famous press conference where Mike Shanahan basically kind of gave the writing on the wall that he was about to start chopping heads. Basically hey, we're reevaluating everybody Nobody wants to hear that during week 7.
No.
So basically what happened was is that Kyle and them, they bit the pillow, man. They acquiesced. They turned over the entire offense, and then that's when they went full throttle into the RPO. They went full throttle into the quick stuff, the check with me's, all of the stuff that really we had seen in college for a while, but it was hitting a ceiling. It really wasn't crossing over. I feel like the Redskins is particularly Kyle. That's when Sean McVay was still there. LaFleur was there. Everybody was on that staff. That's when they basically makeshifted a NFL-centric version of an RPO system for RG3. And then, the rest is history. We won 6 games in a row. RG3 got hurt against Haloti, messed up his knee. Right. Kirk Cousins came in, finished that game. Pierre Garçon, backdoor fade, came in with the Cleveland Browns, got us into the playoffs. Kirk had an amazing game, but the offense that Kirk ran was what RG3 was failing at for the first part of that season.
Oh, wow.
That's when RG3 began to get jealous, and there began to become this whole, why aren't I running this stuff? I can do that. This is where I think you bridge.
I remember that vaguely. I remember that was a long time ago and it was on the other side of the country. But yeah, all of a sudden RG3 was like, hold on, I'm a pocket quarterback. I'm
a pocket quarterback, and Kirk really made him go hard because if you think about it, this is something that, because now I'm with you guys with the Niners side, this is something that I don't think Niners fans understand, because I hear you guys get really annoyed at this Kirk Cousins infatuation with Kyle. Kyle was a first time like full OC once he got to Washington because Mike was there. The plan under the table is that Mike was going to usher in Kyle to be kind of like the successor in Washington as the head coach. However, one of the things that Kyle began to do is he began to take over scouting full time. It was something that was really talked about around the city at the time, and Kyle's number one guy that he stood on the table for was Kirk Cousins. He was saying he had Kirk Cousins as a second round pick. And he was standing on the table for Kirk Cousins. He was actually surprised that Mike picked up Kirk, and they kind of did it as a silent protest because they got forced into picking up RG3 in the first round. And Mike's Mike's decision for picking it up, because Kirk said it, Kyle said it in an interview later on that gave me context, is he goes, I didn't even think that we were going to get Kirk, but because we were in the 4th round and my dad said, hey, well, let's get Kirk. He goes, what are you talking about, man? Like, he goes, well, shoot, we need another quarterback. You had him ranked in the 2nd, and it's the 4th round. Why don't we get him? And then the rest is history. So in a way, he doesn't let Kirk go because Kirk is kind of like the one that got away.
And also he staked his reputation on him. He stood on he was the first guy that Kyle put his reputation on. Yeah, and you can't walk that back. Hey, I got to take some more calls, but you knocked it out of the park. A+, man. Thank you. Come on again sometime. All right, man. Take care. Sorry, I got to do that to people, but I got to be a hard ass here. 5 minutes. Hard left turn. Any thoughts about the Niners trying to trade for Deshaun Hamilton from the Broncos? He's a wide receiver. Trade only fell through because he hurt himself. Yeah, man, I don't know. It seems like the Niners are looking for another wide receiver. That's the relevant information there. They're looking for another wide receiver. It could have been Deshaun Hamilton. I guess we need to look into who Deshaun Hamilton is and what he brings to the table. I don't even know about Deshaun Hamilton, so I'll get back to you on that. Okay, let's get to Waruna, who's been waiting patiently for an hour. Sorry, man. Thank you very much. You're the man. Appreciate you.
No worries. It's nice to see people talking about Kirk.
You can't escape it, man. What's up?
Yeah. First question. You are an Oakland native. Practically lived your entire life in Oakland. So why did you choose 49ers over Raiders?
Because when I was 5 and the Niners were going to the Super Bowl, Raiders were in LA. That was the home team. And so the Niners won a Super Bowl before the Raiders moved back. So I was already in love. They came back. I was like, who the hell are you? Who the hell is this team? I like Steve Young. I don't know. This team sucks. I like the Niners. That's why I was.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The second question. So, every time you do something, basically, you always take the back seat. act as a facilitator, moderator, even with your regulars. You allow them to take the stage, even with the Cohn phone. That's the thing I identified, because most of the YouTubers who are coming out, they have a message to say, but they do not realize it's not about themselves.
They repeat themselves. They talk. You gotta listen, man.
Yeah. So because that's why we hate major stream media, because they don't allow our voice to be heard.
That's right.
So how did you figure this out? Was it through your father or experience?
No. So I started this YouTube channel last year, and I realized like people like it. I can put like 17 videos. I can put a video an hour from 7 in the morning to 11 at night, and people will watch. How do I fill all this time? And I was like, I can't just talk every day. That's boring. That's boring to just repeat yourself. Bring other people on. Ask what they think, and then listen. And it worked. People like it. So it's been working.
So that's all I had to ask, because I see there are many people, upcoming people follow you, so they might get an idea from
That's some advice. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are trying to do what I do. Pay attention to what I do. A lot of what I do is listen. I don't do a lot of talking. Sometimes I have quality control things where I'm out of my mind and talking to myself. I can do that stuff. I have rants after games, but sometimes I just mute myself entirely. It's a good thing to do sometimes. People don't want to hear you talk all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Great to see you, man.
Okay.
Always a pleasure. Take care. What's up, man? How are you muted? This happens every once in a while. Here, come back out. Leave, come back in. That happens sometimes. All right, let's keep it moving. My guy, Chardal.
My first question for you is, my first point is, should the 49ers re-sign QB Nick Mullins?
Hell yeah. Next question.
Next question is, I'm talking, my second point is about Jed York.
Okay.
I think CEO Jed York is a complete joke. A complete joke. He is a complete joke of a CEO.
Oh, damn.
With this hilarious tweet, he has backed himself into a corner, and he has to blame himself. He has to blame himself for what he has done.
Dang!
This man is an absolute joke. Dude, this guy's like Donald Trump, man.
Oh,
like
man, you're hurting his feelings, man. You're hurting his feelings.
But Niner fans have to deal with him.
It's true.
I can't deal with Jed York. His tweets are so funny. They're ridiculous. Like, why does he post all these ridiculous tweets, man? Like,
I don't know, man, but how do you get so much better every time you come on this show? Every time I'm like, man, Chardal can't top last time. And then you do.
Why is he making all these dumb tweets, man?
Jed, Chardal has a lot of questions for you, all right?
It's like my way or the highway. It's like you do it my way or get the hell out of here, okay? Just
Chardal, you're getting a little worked up. You're getting a little worked up.
Get the hell out
of
here.
But hey, A+ stuff.
My way or the highway.
I gotta let you go, man, but you're doing great. I'll see you next time. That was A+. Who saw that coming? That was just phenomenal. What's up, Michael? Phenomenal stuff.
We need more pass rushers.
Yes, okay.
That's what we need. You still got Justin Houston that's still out there, and Everson Griffin is still out there. You can get them on low-cost deals and make our pass rush that much better.
Yeah, I like
both
that.
Both of them had 7 to 8 sacks last year. You can get them probably $3 million with kick in 2 or 3 more million with it as incentives.
Yeah.
I just don't want to run with the guy we got from the Rams and count on him being the only guy.
True, and you can't really expect anything from D Ford.
No, you can't. That's why I would say this late in free agency, you could pick them up for little or nothing, and I mean they're still stud defensive.
Say the names again. Say the names again.
Everson Griffin and Justin Houston.
Justin Houston has had more experience in 3-4 defenses, but the Niners have James Betzer, who's been a 3-4 defense guy.
I mean, we run that wide 9, and that's where
it's the same thing. Everson Griffin's a hell of a player. Yeah,
I mean it seems like 8 sacks last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you offer him, they still have to give
at this
point Warner his money and stuff, but I don't think they're going to be that expensive. I like this. Justin Houston, Everson Griffin, sign one of them. The defensive line. I mean, they have these younger guys.
More insurance.
It does. I just bring them in. if they're just hanging out there and it's not expensive. I mean, come on, Jed. Chardol wants you to do something, Jed.
Hey. Yeah, but pass rush is important. They're still out there. You can get them low cost. And, if somebody goes down, we still got a good pass rush on the team. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And they brought in guys like this last year. They brought in Deion Jordan. I mean, he was a little bit younger.
They brought in injury-prone.
They brought in, it's true, Ziggy Ansah. These guys are actually good. They don't have all these. Yeah, so I like this.
Yeah, these guys stick around for 16 games, the two I mentioned. So.
Yeah, we need 17 this year, though.
Or 17. Yeah, well, 17. You still, 4 preseason games to 3.
True.
Still, you're playing the same amount of games.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say is bring in more pass rush, and they're sitting out there to be had. There's no
right to the point. That's a hell of a point, man. And this is going to be I think this is a video that's going to do well. You see when I cut these up, put them out. I saw you put it on the Facebook page. You did good. I'll have one up today.
Get more hits than anybody else. That's why.
That's right, man. That's right. All right, Michael. Good to see you, man.
All right. Later.
Hey, how
Johan? Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Hey, I'm gonna bring some negativity because I feel like
thank you.
You've been a little bit too positive lately.
I know it's disgusting, man.
It is.
Ugh. Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I've got a lot of kind of things I've been thinking about the last few weeks. Most of this stuff, I guess, we've already kind of discussed. But I feel like quarterback is going to be a position of concern this year for sure.
Okay.
The reason being is Jimmy G is going to be Jimmy G, right? I mean, he's going to be super skittery. He's going to be super inaccurate. He's not going to trust his knee nor his now busted leg either. So he's not going to.
As soon as he gets touched on either, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't see him having the mental fortitude to kind of battle through that because
I agree.
Really hasn't showed that.
If he had it, he would have showed it last year. Sorry, Jimmy.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
And I think believing that Trey Lance is going to get in and be like, an all-star type quarterback from day 1 or even day 5 or even week 7, I think is completely unrealistic to put that on his shoulders because he's 21. He's a rookie. He didn't play last year at all. Yeah. And I feel like at that position, it always takes time for you to get good.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's going to be, if he gets to play, he's going to be serviceable at best this year, I feel.
Right.
For the future,
that's what Josh Allen was when he was a rookie. Serviceable. Good. Look at his quarterback rating. He was like 66 as a rookie.
Exactly.
And they were like, okay, well, you learn on the job. We suck anyway. First year head coach. We're rebuilding. That's not where the Niners are.
No.
It's not where the Niners were 10 years ago with Colin Kaepernick. The whole thing was when you come in, you have to be better than this guy who's established.
Exactly.
What you want about Jimmy, he's 22-8.
Exactly. And how many quarterbacks have gone in, regardless of their draft position, and blown up the league their first year, their rookie season?
I mean, last year was the example. Like Justin Herbert tore it up, had the best rookie season of any quarterback ever. What was he, 5-11? No, that wasn't his fault. But like honestly, what are the expectations for a rookie quarterback?
Exactly. And I think everyone needs to pump their brakes a little bit on Trey as far as expectations go.
Good call.
All right, that's kind of it for today, man. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it. Where are you calling from, real quick?
From Sweden. I called in a few weeks ago. I had a mustache, but
my bad, dude. It was the mustache.
There we go, man. I grew tired of it.
Well, yeah. Also, you have the strongest jawline I've ever seen in my life. So why would you want to?
Really?
Oh, it's fantastic. Everyone's talking about it in the comment section. You look great, man. Have a great day, dude.
All right, have a good one.
Appreciate you, man. What's up, Jose?
Hey, Grant. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
So, going with the title, or speaking of the guy that's in the title of your video today, Jed. What do you think? Because his uncle was the one that originally had the team back in the day, DeBartolo, Mr. DeBartolo. So, considering how, besides Bill Walsh, obviously, I know that was a factor of winning those Super Bowls and whatnot, but what do you think separates or is a difference between how great Eddie DeBartolo was as an owner and why Jed York can't get it done as an owner?
Man, that's a great question.
I mean,
I don't think I can answer it, man.
To like go all in on free agents, but I mean, what do you think is the reason why Jed hasn't made it work and his uncle was like the winner of the 80s as an owner?
I don't have the answer. Look, that's a great question for my dad. So there was another one earlier today. That's the second question I'm going to ask. My dad knows Eddie DeBartolo. I could only guess. It would only be a guess. So let me ask my dad. And I'll get back to you. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, yeah.
I mean, do you have any theories? I mean, what do you think?
I think it's maybe he thinks because he has that silver spoon type of like attitude about it. Like he maybe thinks too highly of himself before. I mean, because okay, so then
hold on. Eddie hired Bill Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie. I mean, the Bengals had him in their organization for a long time, and were like, "You're not what we're looking for.
You're not good enough."
Eddie got it right. Jed York, you could. I mean, he hasn't done that. So Eddie, he fired him a lot of times, and he was explosive, and he hired Bill Walsh, man. So he got it right early on, and he wasn't like he didn't dig a hole for himself. They didn't dig out of like the first coach he hired was Bill Walsh. That's a pretty good start. So
I guess the other question I would have is, do you think now that because I mean it's been a big mess since Jim Harbaugh got fired for Jed, and from that legendary clip your dad had of him saying he should be fired.
And Jed being like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, you can't fire the owner.
And now that Kyle and John have been here, he hasn't really like butted into football operations. So in that aspect, do you think that
now he's going the other way? He's like, oh, we're a family. I love these guys.
Yeah. Do you think now that that's happened since they've been here, Jed deserves credit? Do you think he deserves any credit, or do you think it's a good thing that he just shut up and let other people deal with football operations?
He's trying to improve. You can see he's trying to do different things and get it right. And he's basically done a 180 from the Harbaugh years. He's like, okay, I was too hard on these people. I ran away winners. Let me create a family environment here. Okay, but they need to win, man. And I feel like you're creating an environment where there's no pressure on them to do anything. Like anytime something bad happens, they have an excuse and Jed buys it. How many seasons are going to go by where they can't have a winning? I don't know. I think Jed's looking. He's still searching to find himself. And I don't even know how old Eddie DeBartolo was when he took over the team, but he wasn't 27.
Right. I just find it interesting that he kind of took over it when he was a young man, and he's just kind of like, I don't know, he didn't know really how to handle himself, I guess, in my opinion.
I didn't know how to handle myself when I was 27.
He's still figuring it out.
I think he's still figuring it out, but I think he really, really likes Kyle and John Lynch. I think he really likes them, and I think he needs to think, man, they're not your friends. You guys, you might want to be. You're not friends. You guys are all business partners, and you might have to. You're probably going to fire both of them one day. It's the way it goes in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very true.
One day. Anyway, Jose, great to see you, man.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too, man. Oh, here comes. Are you gonna keep it? You're gonna keep keeping it honest, man. What's popping, dude? How you doing?
Yeah. So I think the Niners are gonna go 9-8 this year, and everyone's projecting like 12 wins.
Wow.
Nah, listen.
Okay.
I think the wins are Lions, Eagles, Seahawks, Cardinals early on in the season.
Mm-hmm. So you think they start 4-1?
Yep, and then they drop. I think
Tennessee,
they drop 3 straight against the Colts, Bears, and Cardinals.
Ooh, the Bears game could be tough too. It's a good defense.
Yeah, and it's 10 a.m. and it's cold probably, and so a lot of things here.
And Justin Fields could be good. Who knows?
Yeah, and then I think you dropped the second game against the Cardinals. At this point, about half your team is injured. Josh Rosen's probably starting. Okay, and then
bite your tongue.
I think you probably beat the Jaguars, the Bengals, the Falcons, and the Texans later on in the season. But that's it. I think it's 4 wins I think I have them. Yeah. What's
well, look, I mean, if they have another injury plagued season and D'Amico Ryans is underwhelming, then they're not going to win more than 9 games. I think that's actually a very realistic thing what you're saying, because whenever I project, other people project, no one talks about the injury issue or D'Amico Ryans. Those aren't questions. Those are the biggest questions facing this team.
Yeah, and they would go I feel like everyone's projecting 12 wins. And I think we got to pump the brakes.
If they had Robert Saleh, they'd probably win 12 games, 13 games. But I don't know what to expect from D'Amico Ryans, who's extremely important.
Yeah.
Because there's no defensive head coach who can hold his hand and be like, this is what we're doing. No, it's your defense, man. It's all you. What do you got? Now, there's some former coordinators got his back, but they're his subordinates. He doesn't have to listen to them. He might think he's got it. So we'll see what he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, can you guess where I'm at? The Niners practice on my high school's field over.
You're in Santa Clara?
In summer. Sorry?
You're in Santa Clara?
No, yeah, I'm in Santa Clara.
Nice.
They practiced on Saratoga High School's field the other day, and last season.
Because, oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't know, but I think my friend got a picture with George Kittle.
Saratoga High School, man. You should have let me know so I could have got a scoop, man. You could have gotten down there.
We drove over when we heard the people were there, but I think Everyone left already.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right.
But
well,
yeah.
good
Real
to see you,
quick,
man.
Jed
Oh.
York says, I feel like any tweet from this point onwards will be detrimental, but we're having a blast, and proceeds to do two more. Like,
Stop.
dude,
You're right. You were right. You got it right. It is detrimental, man.
Have some self-control, dude. Come on, man.
He wants to be liked so bad, and I feel bad because everyone wants to be liked, I guess. But when you want to be liked and you make it that transparent, you don't get liked. Everyone just rips on you more. Anyway,
yeah.
If you win, Jed, they'll like you. That's the thing. Just wait. Good to see you, man.
All right, thank you.
Big Ben.
Hey, Grant, how you doing?
Say no to Yes Man Low would probably like this young guy. That dude's a baller, man. How you doing, man?
Man, I feel bad. My hair is a little out of whack, but besides that, I'm doing good, man.
Looking good.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to first talk about the Jed thing, because you're kind of bringing it up. People can say what they want, but there are a lot worse situations to be in than Jed York as your owner. In fact, there are some really, really bad situations in sports. Specifically, you look at just a team in your backyard, the Oakland A's. I mean, there can be a lot worse situations going on. And
that's true.
If you look up and down in the NFL too, it's not like the difference between Jed and the top 5-10 owners is going to make that much of a difference, because people perceive Jerry Jones so high, and he's won one playoff game in the last 25 years. So
right.
I don't know how much of that has to do a difference with that now, especially with the point you made earlier with how with Eddie D, he had the ability to go out and spend in free agency and actually make a change, versus they're dealing with the salary cap league. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's definitely look. I don't know how good Jed York is, but he's definitely better than the clowns that own the A's.
Yep.
And that being said, they did privately. Well, they didn't really privately fund Levi's. How much did they pay? I think they paid a lot of it themselves. I don't know. A's won't do that. The A's should be privately funding their own stadium in Oakland, man. Stop asking the city with the worst public schools in the country to build a stadium. It's ridiculous. It's not what we need. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And I want to get to something though, real quick.
All right, let's do it.
With Trey, I was looking up and down the schedule. I don't think there's a good opportunity for him to come in actually, because most people, I think, ahead of time were trying to find the bye week or a few games in a row where they're going to struggle, right? Mm-hmm. But I think finally, if you look at the schedule, the best place for him to start would be week 1. If you're looking at the schedule that way, you go to the you go to the Lions, you go to the Eagles, and then you're going to Green Bay, who God knows what's going to be going on there by the time we get to week 3 of the NFL season. They could have a completely different quarterback, and I think that's probably the best place. But I don't know. I feel like
if he's ready, he could win early. I mean, that seems like let him go against the Lions and then the Eagles. He could win those games. Yeah,
he could. And I think, for him, you want to give him that confidence early. You don't want to put him off on a bad foot, right? And I think
wait until after the bye week to start him. The game after the bye week is a primetime game against the Colts.
Exactly.
When Kaepernick started, he had his first game was a primetime. I think it was Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
He was against the Bears. He went up against Jason Campbell. That was a guaranteed W. So you might want to put in Trey Lance. That's week 1, baby. It's week 1.
I really don't think it would be that bad of an idea. I really don't think it would be.
Based on what I saw at rookie minicamp, it seems like a possibility.
Well, that's good to hear. And I'm glad you enjoyed rookie minicamp. Before I get to my last topic, I want to make sure I cover this with you. How was your time in Miami? Because you went to the Super Bowl down there. You were the last, event.
That was the last time I've taken a flight. That was the last time I flew in a plane. I had a good time, but honestly, that was back when I was broke as a joke. I had to pay my own way. I got reimbursed in stages. I went into credit card debt. I had to sell my car. It was a very dark time in my life. I spent 8 nights in a hotel room that was right by the airport, which was a cool half-hour walk from downtown, which I made a few times late at night through Little Havana. Because what was I supposed to do? I couldn't afford Uber. Man, times were tough. But I had a good time. I made it out to South Beach a couple of times. Saw some people. I hung out with Ross Dwelly's entire family. We had some fun times.
Really?
But yeah, that felt like a long time ago. I was so broke. Ross Dwelly's family paid for a drink for me. They bought me a drink, and I was like, man, thanks. I couldn't afford this Corona right now if it wasn't for you. Thank you. That's why I'm so nice to them, because they bought me a Corona one time.
Well, that's a nice story, man.
It is.
That's
it is. I got to take some more calls though, Ben. But it's a pleasure.
No, hey, I'm glad I got to talk to you, and
we'll schedule to do one soon, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You let me know, and we'll figure out a time to talk soon.
Talk to you
soon. Good talking
soon.
to you, Grant.
Later. What's up?
Can you hear me now?
Of course, man. This happens sometimes. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. It happens. I'll keep it to the point. Okay. Have you heard anything new about Fred Warner and a potential extension? Because it's been awfully quiet.
I keep missing my opportunity. There was the pre-draft press conference. I asked about Mike McGlinchey. I should ask about Fred Warner. What's going on with Fred Warner? I keep missing my opportunity. I promise next time I get John Lynch in any type of capacity, I will ask him the Fred Warner question because it's the most important question facing this team right now.
All right. Second question is, I haven't seen anything from the team on improving the special teams, especially the return game, because after, I believe it was the Richie James fumble, it kind of took a nosedive. And
that's exactly what happened. It was in New Orleans, right?
Yes, I believe so.
He fumbled, and Kyle's like freaked out and was like, from now on, the rest of the season, everyone just fair catch. That's it. I don't care how far away people are, right? So it looked like.
Yes.
So it looked like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, during your time as covering the 49ers, what was the most disappointing moment that you've experienced while covering the team?
Disappointing moment. That's a tough question because I'm not a fan. I'm not rooting for them to win. If they lose, I'm not necessarily disappointed. I guess.
Understandable.
I don't know. I know. I guess when they drafted Solomon Thomas, I knew it was a terrible mistake. I knew it was a really bad mistake. And it's not, I mean, sometimes it makes me laugh when the Niners mess up, but it's like, guys, this is gonna really set back the franchise for years. It's still affecting them. So I was disappointed in the Solomon Thomas pick. I felt that was like the original sin of this franchise.
I can understand that. And I think for me, it was when, the last season of Jim Harbaugh, because how many seasons did we had the 49ers have of all those losing seasons after the salary cap was installed? And then they Jed finally hired a coach that was capable at the time. And I know that the end kind of, fell apart like a car at a junkyard, but he got us as close as we've ever gotten. So
yeah.
I mean, that was kind of crushing. So
definitely.
Can I join you and Karan's watch club?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Karan's waiting. He's like third in line. He's in the hole. We got Aaron. Well, he's on deck. Aaron Foley's on deck. Karan's in the hole. Absolutely. Watch club.
Omega.
Watch club. Yeah. Good stuff, man. That's a nice watch. What kind is it?
Omega.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. That's how nice it is. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just getting in the watch game. I don't even know about it. What's up, bro?
Oh,
you got the collector's edition. I love that movie, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways,
nice.
I want to say something to all you Jimmy naysayers real quick. I want to show you something. Hold on. Let's see. Yep, it's right there. You know what?
Right there.
You guys are all going to be sad when this man throws for 3,500 plus yards, 29 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, and we go 10-7. Maybe 11-6. All right, y'all are gonna be so salty, and I'm gonna be feeling so good that I bought this jersey. I'm not even pointing.
Did you get on discount?
No, I bought this before the season last year when I was still like, yeah, this is our guy.
Yeah, because you just have great timing. The best.
We just came off the Super Bowl. Give me a break.
I know. They could have had Tom Brady, but they were like, no, we like James Garoppolo.
I like Jimmy Garoppolo.
I still feel that if he changed his name to Jim, he'd do better. The Jimmy thing is too cute. Stop being Jimmy, man. You're Jim.
Yeah. What was the question? This was a completely off-topic question. I mean, it was about the Niners, but it's not like current Niners. So my favorite Niners player of all time is Joe Montana, but my favorite player in the league when I started getting into football until he retired was the original 85, Vernon Davis.
Oh, wow.
I was just curious, what was it like covering him during the time with the Niners?
Vernon Davis was an odd duck. Let me tell you about Vernon Davis, and then I got to let you go. But I want to talk about Vernon Davis for a minute because he was very strange. He was very, very sweet, a very sweet, sensitive person. He was a painter. He would talk about his emotions. He would say whatever you wanted him to say. be like, hey, Vernon, isn't it true that XYZ? He'd be like, yeah, absolutely, man. That's a real problem. And then you'd like ask the same question, like, but isn't this true? And he like get him, you could get him to contradict himself. He'd basically say whatever. You couldn't trust him to say something. So that was Vernon. But then the other thing, I tried to do, I've told the story before, but it was so weird. I don't know what it meant. I was trying to do a story on Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree didn't like to talk about himself. So I had to interview other players about him. One of the players was Vernon Davis. It was at the end of like the locker room period, and all the players had left, media had left, but I was allowed to hang out there. Vernon came in from the shower with a towel around his waist. And I said, he went to his locker. I said, hey, Vernon, could you have a couple of minutes? Could I ask you a couple of questions about Michael Crabtree? He drops the towel and says, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So he's just standing there naked. And I'm standing there like it's, the normalest thing that someone could do. So I ask the questions and I do my best to act like he's not naked. And he was just staring at me, man. It was very uncomfortable. I don't know what that was. I don't know what it was. It felt like I don't really want to talk to you. So if you want to talk, let's make this as uncomfortable as possible. And I'm guessing this is going to last 45 seconds. And it did. So I don't know what to make of that, but it was a good way to end an interview before it started. Anyway, good to see you. Vernon, if you're out there, thank you.
Real quick, don't let anyone tell you that tracksuits are bad. You're a tracksuit hero, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You too.
No problem.
Great to see you. That really happened, man. I don't know what Vernon was trying to express, but I'm still scarred from that. I remember it was like slow motion. Like, no.
Wow.
Okay, Vernon, let's just pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Wow. No.
I mean, if he had done that to a female reporter, it would have been a problem, but it wasn't. He didn't. And I just felt like, okay, I guess this is what people do. All right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note,
hey, congratulations on graduating. I didn't know you're still in school.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Huh?
I didn't know you went back. Nice.
Yeah. I went back, what was that, 33, a couple of years ago. So, I had one of those life moments where I'm like, all right, either I stay where I am or let's progress. And so 2 years later, it is what it is, right? Everyone has that moment, right?
Well, good for you, man.
Thank you. So I looked at the schedule and, more importantly, I looked at everyone else's schedule like everyone else did. And I looked at what actually gave me hope for a 13-4 season. Was actually the preseason, and there actually being a preseason. Because I think Kyle's blocking scheme, and I think Kyle needs to teach offensive linemen how to play a certain way. And I think the only way you can really do that if you have tape. And he's got a lot of offensive linemen that are new, right? And what better way to do that against, preseason games, which they didn't have. And I think collectively they were a step slower at the beginning of the season because of that. The run game never recovered because of it.
That's true.
And I don't think Kyle can fully evaluate people unless he has film on them, which most cases, that's pretty much the way you're going to see it. Everyone looks good on practice, but as you can tell, if you go against the same person over and over again, you're going to know his tendencies. You're going to know how they break. It's going up against other people's where you really see the skill set, happen. So I think they'll go 13-4, but they got to go 5-1 before their bye, because I think they're going to lose a couple just because of having a bye. And I think that Tennessee game is a perfect example of what they did in Atlanta. To me, Kyle had already said, we're going to lose to Atlanta. For whatever reason, he sat down the whole entire defense for some bizarro reason that game, right? We had backup defensive players.
It's true.
And we were winning it.
Sherman didn't play. That's true, yeah.
No one played.
Yeah.
No one played.
Yeah.
And I think Kyle saw how good the team was and said, okay, we'll take a step back because we can win out. It shows his confidence and his arrogance as well, because, it took a last second, tackle for them to get that number 1 seed. But, to me, if they don't get far in the playoffs,
Greenlaw,
Jed's going to be stuck paying some guy $26 million for what? I think the catch is, Jed, pay this guy money. We're going to get deep in the playoffs, possibly another Super Bowl run. If they don't do very well, we've already seen Jed, just with the Harbaugh send, Jed is
It's emotional.
everyone gets emotional, and there's a group of people who have forgotten, Jed really botched this up with Harbaugh. He set us back 2 or 3 years now, right? And so he's in everyone's good graces. He's twittering now, but people like that don't change. You and me know that.
No.
Absolutely. They can put on a nice tie. They can be nice. They can be
try a new
charismatic,
tone on Twitter, but nah. Yeah.
Try a new tone on Twitter, but these people don't change.
No.
Is there a game you're looking most forward to, out of curiosity, right off the gate? I know the first one everyone's going to say, great.
The Green Bay one.
The Green Bay one?
I want to see that Green Bay one. Yeah. It's such a test for D'Amico. I want to see what D'Amico Ryans has got. Because if he's good, this team could go all the way. If not, he's going to be the reason that they come up short. He's replacing such an elite defensive coordinator. So what do you got? Yeah.
To me, it's Philadelphia. If they do very well in Philadelphia, and if they just, crush Philadelphia, I will be very confident, because they played that team less than a year ago, and they were off. You could tell when they lost Philadelphia. I think everyone in 49 Nations were like, yeah, we're not going 13-3 this year. We're not Super Bowl caliber players. And it's going to be interesting to see how well they do versus a team that they, couple of throws, right? I know Carson Wentz he's not there anymore. In theory, they should be favored by a touchdown again on the road, in theory, depending if Jalen Hurd becomes a miraculously very good quarterback, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But to me, it's Philadelphia to see how the season's going to unfold for them.
That's true. Because the way I look at a season is there's always one game a team loses you don't expect. They don't expect. Correct. No one expects. This is the way it goes. So which game is that going to be this year? If it's Detroit week 1, that's a problem. If it's Philadelphia week 2, that's a major problem. So I like what you're saying. Like, we expect the Niners to start the season 2-0. If they don't, they got big problems.
Remember when they went 10-0, that was the thing. We expected them to win those games that they should be winning.
Right.
We expected them to beat. When they played that murderer's row of Baltimore, Green Bay, and then the Saints, we were okay if they lost one, because guess what? They were going up against quality opponents, but they were supposed to beat those other teams. Beat the teams
and they did, with the exception of Atlanta, which they basically threw because they didn't play all their best players. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Well, hey, good to see you.
You got a big day. You got a big day ahead of you.
My whole entire week has been graduation. My little brother, he's 12 years younger than me. He graduated from nursing school, so we got that going on. Best friend moved into a new house. We've got that going on. So yeah.
You sound tired.
Huh?
You sound tired.
I'm tired.
All right, man. Go take a nap, man. Great to see you. See you next time.
Yep.
All right, peace. Chewy and then Steven. What's up, Chewy?
Grant, what's up, man? How's it going?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Chewy,
hey, so
nice background always. I love that background, man. So good. Nice
yeah, I missed the show yesterday. We were out of town traveling, getting away for a weekend. We're in Texas, so we went down to Dallas and we went out there, spent some time this weekend. I had to take Alejandra out, keep her happy.
Nice. What's up, Alejandra? She's in the background. I can hear her.
He said, "What's up?"
He said, "What's up?"
So hey, I have 2 things I wanted to ask you, man.
Sure.
I didn't get to catch your show yesterday, so I don't know if you talked about it or not. But Trey Lance, his how did he look live, man? Because when I looked at some clips of him that day 1 of OTAs, he kind of looked. His passes were coming out a little funny. I don't know if it was the angle of the videos. The trajectory was a little off, it looked like, on his throws. And I don't know how that looked live, but they were kind of wobbly off his hand.
This is what I saw. In the 7-on-7, he was precise. He was 20 and 24. It was mostly checkdowns. I don't know why they had it. It was mostly short passes. In warm-ups, you saw the video. Chris Biederman posted it. I posted it. When he's throwing to his right, he sails him high consistently. And then when he's double clutching too, it looked like he was very uncomfortable in the warm-up session. He started off aiming the ball, and then when he tried to let it rip, his Release point was off. Something to watch. Mechanics, release point, repeatability, accuracy. It looked like an issue in the warm-ups, and then in the 7-on-7s, he didn't have to throw any difficult passes, really.
So don't kill me, 49er fans. I'm just observing.
Yeah, no, watch with, unbiased eyes. When you see this guy in camp, don't see what you want to see. Really assess him, because that's what Kyle's doing.
Yeah, it looked to me, I don't know, when the clips I saw, it looked kind of wobbly off his hand, and the trajectory
But that was just warm-ups.
weird.
I mean, he was just getting warm-up. So we'll see if that's an issue that persists.
Cool. So the other thing that I had, just real quick, so, Alejandra and I, we base a lot of our videos on the Latino, aspect of that, because we're Latino, try to give that aspect. So we want to ask about the undrafted free
Alfredo?
agent lineman. Yeah, Gutierrez.
I
How
don't
did
know
he
much
look?
about him. Here's the thing. There were no defensive linemen. So they just, the offensive lineman just warmed up. I mean, he looks huge, but I don't really know what to say about him and Aaron Banks. We'll see in OTAs. But the thing about him, he's 6'9", 330 pounds. That's good. I mean, he's bigger than McGlinchey. And then he was really funny. Did you see his interview? It was funny as hell.
No,
So
I didn't
someone was
get to
like,
see it.
okay, of course, you're Mexican, so probably football wasn't your first sport. What was your first sport? He goes, well, of course, every Mexican's first sport is soccer. I was basically the fat goalie for a long time, but now it's like, that was such a funny thing to say. Like, you're a professional athlete. I was the fat goalie for a while, but now I'm nice dude. I liked him. He was cool.
I mean, that's good. I guess at least he's humble a little bit, but
yeah, he seems down to earth. But I mean, most guys.
That's pretty funny.
Top 10 pick. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw a clip of him, just one, and he looked huge, but he didn't really look super athletic. So I was just wondering if you got a chance to see him or not.
I don't know if like this whole international thing it seems kind of like a promotion, right? Like, let's try to spark some interest in other places to get football global. I don't know if he's necessarily going to make the team. I don't know. I hope he does. I hope he's not there I hope it's not just marketing, That'd be whack.
Well, I mean, with our line, I think anybody has a chance to make the team, Grant, sadly.
I'm 185 pounds. What do you need? I can do it.
Hey, you could start over McGlinchey.
Hey, man. Let's have an arm wrestling contest.
Yeah, I'm taking a page out of your book. I'm not calling him the other word. I'm calling him by his real name now. So.
Yeah, Big Mike McGlinchey. We're all rooting for you, Mike. We're in your corner. Go get him. All right. Well, have a great day.
One last time.
Oh, it happened. It had to happen.
All right, take it
easy, man. All right, take care, man. Last call of the day, Steven.
Yo, how you doing, Grant?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right here. Give me 1 second. I just got to refresh the page really quick. There we go. Much better. Oh man, I've always had a bone to pick with Jed York. I've always had it ever since the whole Jim Harbaugh incident, along with the what was his name? The player that got caught up with I think drug charges. I can't remember when he put out some stupid press conference interview where he was like, "Oh, we're a team of class," and it ended up like biting him in the ass. And ever since that day, I cannot let that go.
Yeah,
he's just a guy, like you said, he wants to be liked by everybody, and he tries too hard, and it's like, and it makes more people hate him. It's like you want to like him, but you can't. Like
you can't. It's impossible.
He's just that try-hard kid in high school,
He's the try-hard kid in high school with $1 billion. He's like, hey, my parents said I could throw a party at my house, and they're going to be chaperoning, but they know I have no friends, so why doesn't everyone come over? And you can. It's like, okay, like we're going to go to your house and go to your party, but we still don't like you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So just know that we still don't like you. Yeah. We're going to go.
Man. And then I predict the Niners doing great this season. I feel like we're probably going to go. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to go 6-0 before we actually take our first L. All the games we should win, those are the ones that I'm skeptical of because that's where the Niners seem to always kind of overlook. It happens when you're like a top caliber team. You're like, we have nothing to worry about. There's nothing to look at or sneeze at. And they end up getting overlooked. And that's where it kills us. That's where it bites us in the ass.
Yeah.
Man. Overall, though, I got to say, in general, I have to say, if we were going to start Trey Lance, I would love to see him against Detroit as well. And if we were to finish the season, I would say put him against the Bengals to see how he does against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Well, that team, I want to see how he stacks up against those two, especially with I guess, sophomore season QB against, someone who's a freshman at that point. Outside of that,
I'm just mesmerized by your posters, man. When I was in high school, I had posters on the ceiling too. I had a Usual Suspects poster on the ceiling. I had a Swingers poster on the ceiling. But yours are cool. Is that Slash behind you?
Yeah, so Slash is right here, and then right next over is Motley Crue, and then beneath them is a couple of vinyl records by a band called Dokken.
Nice.
Those guys, love them, and Stevie Ray Vaughan on that side.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, man, that guy could really play the guitar. Nice, man. So you're a serious guitar player.
Yes, I've been playing since I was in the 6th grade, so it's been a staple of mine. My biggest dream is, believe it or not, as corny as it sounds, was to play guitar for the 49ers in one of their home openers, just like how the LA Rams had their female guitarist open for them. I always thought that was like really cool.
Hey, Jed, if you want the Niner fans to like you, bring on Steven Hernandez, man. I gotta wrap this show up, man. It's 11:30, man. We gotta get out. We gotta get out and get some brunch. Do something.
Yo, I feel that. You do something, man. Have fun. Have a great day.
You too.
With the missus, man. Always good talking.
Have a good one, man. Take care. That was a hell of a show, guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I had to do the little, keep it to 5 minutes, one topic. But I think actually it was for the better. You guys were focused. You guys brought the energy. I mean, Chardall was the MVP of the day. There's no question about it. I don't know where he got that, but he's really coming out of his shell. He used to come on and ask like real tepid questions. Now he's like, I got something to say about Kyle Shanahan. Listen up. That's Chardall. I love Chardall. Everyone did great today. Thank you, Cy. Thank you, everyone. Chewy, the whole crew, Ben, Amin, the whole crew. It was lit. All right, guys, I'm out. I'll be back. See you tomorrow. Take care. Have a wonderful Sunday.